Welcome to another one, starting here at Middle Yards Road Airstrip, which I'm going to be honest is a little bit boring, not really very much here, so let's go somewhere else, shall we? 13 knots of wind coming from about 20 degrees off our left, so enough to feel it, but should be okay. It's mostly a headwind, shouldn't be enough to worry us. We'll find out. Yep, doing okay. Yeah, it wasn't too bad really. Got up okay. So yeah, Middle Yards Road Airstrip. Only started there as I saw it on the Explain map and couldn't remember anything about the airfield, and now I know why. It's kind of instantly forgettable, isn't it? Never mind, Timaru isn't too far away from here, so we'll go over there. That's a bit better. Now that will do for the destination for today, but anyway, public service announcement. Simple little thing that you may or may not know about. Just sort myself out for a second, hold on. Right, okay, with the views using the comma, full stop and arrow keys, you'll move yourself around, up, down, in and out. And just using an arrow key, as I'm doing now, you get that. But if you hold down the shift key first, it moves a lot faster, and holding down the CTRL key first, before you press the arrow or whatever, it significantly reduces the speed that you move around. So the comma, full stop, you move in and out, the arrow keys are for left, right, up and down. But if you press and hold the shift or CTRL keys first, then press one of those, the arrow keys, comma, full stop, the shift and CTRL kind of act like a modifier for how fast the movement is. Now, the only reason I mention this is the end of most of my videos, and plenty of other people on the internet too, I finish with a circling away, panning type of cinematic shot to end the video. My mate Andy, he's doing something similar, but that panning away final shot seems a little quick. So, don't know Andy, maybe what you're doing exactly what you want it to look like, and if so then great, keep doing exactly that. But it did make me wonder if you knew about the shift and CTRL speed modifiers. So I thought I'd mention it in this video, as even if you are aware of it, then perhaps somebody else might not be. So there it is, little public service announcement, and holy shit, I've just done something sensible. Yeah, so a bit blowy with the wind today, but at least we can see where we're going now. I first loaded up the sim at Mount Cook, and no. Yeah, we won't be flying in or out of there today. I could have checked what the current VFR minimum rules are for flying in New Zealand, but when you're sat up one end of the runway and you're struggling to see the other end of it, that's probably not enough visibility, is it? Saying that, bad visibility flying, that can be quite good fun to do, but totally grey out of the windows doesn't make for the most interesting looking videos, does it? And I did fire up the sim today specifically to make a video. And talking of videos, you will get to see the new 737-200 at some point. I have now purchased and downloaded it, but not taken it for a flight yet, so looking forward to that. Bit pricey, but as I own the X-Plane 11 version of the plane, FlyJSim give you a 30% discount. So it's still not exactly cheap, but it's better. Yeah, so expect an occasional series of I wonder if I can fit a 737 in here at various small airstrips. Yeah, because just like the X-Plane 11 version of it, and half the time I will be using the thing as a big general aviation aircraft and not following any rules whatsoever. I'm sure I will do a few more sensible flights as well, although those are going to be much longer, so yeah, they're not really going to work for a video. I'm sure plenty of other people will make those kind of flights on YouTube if anybody wants to watch something like that for an hour or two. Yeah, I'll leave that to them. Oh yeah, as I mentioned it before, another thing you won't be getting is a video of me driving a train. That thing I mentioned a couple of videos ago called Running Train. I did watch a guy on YouTube doing a full route on there, so that wasn't a short video either. But watching it, yeah, the game looks lovely, really lovely, but I'm just not convinced that there's enough to do, and I'm going to get bored of it fairly quickly because of that. Yeah, I love a bit of aviation, which is why I've got X-Plane, and in the same way, if you're a train enthusiast, then I'm sure you'd love that game. I just never have been a big train fan, so yeah, decision made, I won't be buying that one. Although one thing I did notice, the person who made this Running Train video that I watched, a British guy, and he said that he was a real life train driver. Now, is this just me? You go off and spend a period of a few hours at work, then come home and fire up a simulator so that you can go to work all over again, but on a computer this time. If, for instance, I was a captain for British Airways or whatever, I'm certain that I would not own a copy of X-Plane. Yeah, to do your job, then come home and do your job again, that's always just seemed a little weird to me. Yeah, games that are doing stuff that you don't or can't do. But driving a Formula 1 car, or slaying a dragon, or shooting space aliens. Yeah, I don't know. Well, for real stuff though, the Football World Cup has now started. Watched a few games. My own team, England, not played yet as of the time of making this video, although my second team won their opening game. Yeah, with normal club football for the rest of the year, I support Birmingham City, and there's only one Birmingham player who is at the World Cup this year. Paek Seung-ho, who is a South Korean lad, played in their first game against Czechia. Koreans won 2-1, and he played quite well, I thought. So, yeah, Korea have become my sort of second team for the tournament. Yeah, I've not really thought about anybody else. Oh no, let's dig up a list and see if there's any others to go in my second team to support group. Hold on. Right, here we go. So, Algeria, no. Argentina, no. Australia, I've 2 trips there, enjoyed it. Maybe, probably not. Austria, Belgium, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Brazil. There was a Brazilian girl I once met, possibly the best sexual experience I've ever had. So, yeah, maybe. Canada, Cape Verde, Colombia, Croatia, Curacao. I will have to admit that I had to look that up on a map to find out where it is when I first heard about the World Cup groups. No. Czechia, Congo, Ecuador, Egypt, England. Obviously, I am English. France, Germany, Ghana, Haiti, Iran, Iraq, Ivory Coast, Japan. Well, got my Japanese ortho, do fly there, probably never will, but have always wanted to visit the country, so yeah, they could be in the second team group. Jordan, Mexico, Morocco, Netherlands, have been to Holland quite a few times and have met some lovely Dutch people, so yeah, they can be in. New Zealand, yeah, it should certainly include them after all the scenery I've made for X-Plane. Norway, Panama, Paraguay, Portugal, Qatar, Saudi, Scotland. I know they're another British team, but there is a big England-Scotland rivalry, so no. Even though I believe that I am 1/4 Scottish, but still no. Senegal, South Africa, sorry, not enough connection there, Hendrik. South Korea, as I mentioned earlier. Spain, been there more than any other country, and one of my best mates is Spanish, so yep, they can be in for my second team group. Sweden, Switzerland, Tunisia, Turkey, USA, Uruguay, Uzbekistan, all no. Yeah, so second teams for the World Cup, Brazil, Japan, Holland, New Zealand, Korea, Spain. Yeah, and hopefully one of them can be losing finalists when England win it. Okay, let's see if we can land at Timaru. Wind is down to 10 knots now, probably 5 or 6 of crosswinds, so we should be okay with that, I think. Seem to be pointing a little bit more sideways than 5 or 6 knots worth, but we're doing okay, it's not too bad. So we can get down, and it's back up in the air, and slightly heavy. Yeah, not one of my best ever, was it? Slightly ballooned flare. Yeah, no, never mind. We're down and still alive, and have arrived at Timaru, which looks to be having a much nicer day than the people over at Mount Cook. Right, so we'll go and park up, and that will do. Yeah, Formula 1 from Barcelona on TV later, so I'll try and edit this and get this all ready before that starts. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, so with an ending brought to you by the control key with comma and right arrow, I'll see you again soon. Bye.